Hey everyone, I'm Rather Go here, and this is the second scenario of the Innsmouth Conspiracy, the Vanishing of Elina Harper. I'm going to be upfront with you, I'm not really looking forward to this one, because while this does play like Arkham, you move around a map, you get clues, you fight enemies, the Act deck has a goal that is randomly looking through this deck to narrow down my options and figure out who done it. And as a consequence, whether I win or lose feels very random and out of my hands. And it seems like the designers kind of knew that because there's really not much difference in losing the scenario outright and winning it with 100% completion. So if I seem like I'm a little bit nonchalant and not really caring about the results in this one, that's probably the case. I figure the harder I think about the scenario, the more upset I'll be, so I'm just going to play it very casually and not think too hard. Also, I want to move the leads deck down here next to the actual suspect stuff. The reason I have it over here to begin with is so I can just have it side by side with the checkbox. It just seems convenient and easy to view that way. Before we get started, let's take a look at the scenario cards. The skull is super soft, it's minus current agenda, which is only 1 or 2. I think there's a third one once you progress, but still, that's not bad at all. -2 on cultist, place a doom if you fail. The penalty can be really bad, but -2s are never that bad. -3, take a horror on tablet is a little bit spooky, that could kill us really fast if you get unlucky. And the squid's super inconvenient, -4, if you fail, drop a clue. There's going to be not much of a chance of me playing around that one on Trish. And I have gotten a little bit ahead of myself. Let's go look at what I've done with my deck upgrades before we read these agendas and acts. Both deck upgrades look very, very similar. I've cut non-core cards, in this case the Unexpected Courageous and Crack the Case, to make room for black markets. I also picked up Charisma on both characters as well as the Leo to go with the Charisma and Tony. In Trish's deck, very similar thing. I don't have as much speed because I don't have Sharon's Obel, so I only got one of the black markets, but I also didn't need to get Leo because I already have my allies. I've dropped Crack the Cases again because easy marks are also giving me economy, but they're making me set up faster because they have the draw built in. I've dropped the manual dexterities because, well, based on last scenario, I don't need to dodge anything ever. Tony's got that covered. By the time I will need to dodge something, it's very likely that I'll have already put a Pendant of the Queen into my deck. And the way I'm going to dodge things is by drawing through my deck faster, not by actually taking a dodge action. And that's really it. I don't think those deck upgrades are super complicated. I got Charismas and Black Markets and Easy Marks, and all of those cards are nuts. So even though none of them are core to any game plan, they're all very powerful in every deck. And I feel like they're the strongest power spike you can really do early game in a lot of decks that aren't specifically looking at, like, stick to the plan as something that's available to them. In fact, thinking more on it, I kind of view Charisma Black Market as the green equivalent of buying Stick to the Plan Ever Vigilant. Anyway, let's get into it. Agenda 1A, Decrepit Decay. That's just a quote. If I wanted to read the books, I'd be reading the books right now, so I'm going to skip it. It's a 6 doom threshold, and anytime we defeat a suspect enemy other than the kidnapper, we get their clues and then record that they're out for blood. Act 1A is the search for Agent Harper. The next morning, you and Agent Dawson split up and search for his missing agent. This also has a lightning bolt action. It lets us spend 2, 4, or 6 clues to parlay, and when we do, we're going to look at the top 1, 2, or 3 cards of the leads deck. I will draw one of them, we'll mark all of them as not being the culprit, because the culprit is here, and eventually, with process of elimination, maybe we'll find out who it is. Probably not, because every time you pull a lead, we also add the top card of the encounter deck to come back up to 10 cards. Really, what I'm doing is I'm fishing for locations because they have victory points, and instead don't record that somebody's out for my blood. And before we mulligan, let's take a look at our location. Force Shroud, 2 clues, it's got a resign action. As a lightning bolt, we can spend 2 resources to move to a connecting Innsmouth location, which I believe is every location on the map, so I don't know why it specifies Innsmouth. My only guess is that maybe these 2 locations aren't Innsmouth locations, but I can't look at them because that would be cheating right now, so I have no idea. I don't know why I drew that. That's not how you mulligan. So let's get into it. For Trish's opening hands, I don't want Eldritch Sophist. I do want Lucky Cigarette Case and Deep Knowledge, but not Well Connected. In the Shadows is really nice to have. It gives you a lot of insurance against the worst things that can happen. Trish can just draw something like a Troublemaker and ignore it. She can just deal with her weakness incredibly easily. I don't think I like having In the Shadows in my hand, but I hate not having it, so I always keep it, is how I feel about it. Burning the Midnight Oil and Working a Hunch. Working a Hunch combos very well with my In the Shadows, so that's nice. Burning the Midnight Oil is nice as well. I really need to draw something off Deep Knowledge, an ally or a magnifying glass, something to get some more book going on. Over here in Tony, clearly didn't shuffle this deck as much as I would like to have that hand. Imagine that I drew that hand and mulligan the black market. Does that draw look familiar? I forgot to shuffle Tony's deck before I drew last game. Well, I'm not going to replay the previous scenario, but that is upsetting. There's also a very small chance that I did shuffle his deck. I rather doubt that. Anyway, let's put those in the right hand. We still have 2 easy marks and a Leo, so that's all very good. I don't need shortcut an Intel Report, though. I'll draw 2 more cards. Knuckle Duster Heavy Furs is really, really good. All right, I'm going to go first on Leo. I guess I Deep Knowledge first. It doesn't really matter what I do. I'm going first on Leo. I play both easy marks, draw 2 cards, gain 2 resources. Did I say go first on Leo? I meant go first on Tony. Anyway, I'm going to play Leo on Tony, getting myself another action. Going to play the Knuckle Duster, because that sort of needs to happen. And I may as well play Heavy Furs now. If I draw Lonnie Ritter soon, I won't be able to play her because I played this. I don't need to use the physical soak right away, so I'm just going to draw a card of my last action. Nice, perfect. Either of these is equidistant. This location sucks. I'm going to go to this side. I remember exactly what Little's Bookshop is. This is how you shuffle extra cards into the leads deck because you're unlucky. I don't want to go that direction. Alright, so for Trish's turn, I'm going to be adding 2 curses to the bag. I clearly did not remove them from the previous session. And drawing 3 cards. Jeremiah is fantastic. I'll be doing that as my next action. I'm going to declare even, as I always do. We missed deduction. We hit everything else. I'm going to use Burning the Midnight Oil to investigate. Sadly, there's really nothing I can do to fix overdrawing this card. Wasn't expecting Jeremiah Kirby to hit literally everything. So we'll be discarding 2 cards. The second Lucky Cigarette Case is not really that much of a loss, though. So I guess it's not the biggest deal. Anyway, let's make this investigation check at... Oh, let's not make this investigation check. We're still not doing very well. Let's play out our Lucky Cigarette Case. Don't have the money for it. I'm just going to Fallacy and Bargain. Get the money going and not take this bad investigate chance. I guess I'm getting the curses going as well, but let's see our upkeep and what's getting discarded. I would normally just assume I drew one of the 2 deductions. 2 out of 21 happens pretty often. But I'm just assuming that I didn't shuffle my deck. I won't the deduction. And Eldritch Sophist is clearly worse. If I'm wrong, I'm only hurting myself. Anyway, I don't need 2 cigarette cases, and I don't need the Sophist. Over here for Tony, cigarette case is nice. Top of the round, 1 of 6 Doom, and evil cards. Locked door, I guess we're never investigating here until we find Lonnie Ritter or Overpower. And Innsmouth luck. I have -1 book and a -1 sanity, and that's going to stick around for a very long time, probably. I can't remember whether it's better to go up or down, so I'm going to go first with Tony, go to the Marsh Refinery. I think I might take you up on that game. Because I really want some more cards in this hand. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this once per game action. It's not group limit, so I can use it on Trish as well, but I mean, probably not going to. But I am going to draw 4 cards. We hit Reckless, that sort of sucks. We also hit our 3rd easy mark right after we played the first one. Less than ideal. This is only 1 Shroud. I can probably investigate with Reckless and just get rid of it. Tablet would absolutely suck. But if I commit the easy mark, I can't commit anything else with Reckless, huh? Just don't hit Tablet. How hard is that? Oh, yeah, I put curses in the bag. Technically, getting curses out of the bag is helpful, and... Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take that. That is impossibly better than I had any right to expect. I get rid of a curse, and I take a clue. For Trish, as we've abandoned this door for a hot second, I'll be moving to Marsh Refinery. Actually, do I even want to go to Marsh Refinery? Do I just want to go down? Tony might be able to do that on a dead action. No, I want to go to Marsh Refinery so I never end up too far from Tony. I'm going to spend 2 resources playing a Lucky Cigarette Case, and I'm going to investigate at 5 to 1, 3 to 1, 1 to 1, get rid of a curse and pass. And that's it for our rounds. Enemy doesn't do anything. Upkeep phase. Not going over hand size on either of these characters, luckily. Top of the round, 2 of 6 Doom. 3 of 6 Doom. I never clicked this thing up. And evil cards. Oof. Because there's this locked door behind us, he doesn't spawn with us. That's actually really annoying. because it means that he's not like at our location to quickly and easily deal with. I will definitely be placing a bounty on that guy, though. That's the sort of enemy that I do not want to have to worry about actions against. Over here for Tony, on Wings of Darkness, that's actually kind of great in a weird way. Like, I want to go kill my quarry, but this lets me just pop over to the Troublemaker and beat him to death instead. I'm not committing any of this, I'm just failing. So I take 1-1, I'll put both of them on Leo. And I get moved back to the start. Which means I am now engaged with this Troublemaker. And I've just realized this is the Innsmouth look, not Dreams or Leia. This is the one that gives you minus bulk. So Reckless didn't pass, I did lose 2 resources, and Tony doesn't have this clue. Which also means that I have one too many cards during the upkeep phase and need to toss something. Which is going to be this Preposterous Sketches. I'm going to go first on Trish to try to thin the bag of curses. I'm going to investigate at 5-1. Skull is a clue, which isn't exactly what I wanted in this case. It's usually pretty good, but not today. For Trish's next action, I'm going to move back to the start where Tony is. And I'm going to spend 2 resources playing Working a Hunch. There's an enemy here, so I can activate Trish's ability and take both clues. Locked door only prevents investigations, not gaining clues. I got a skull, right? That was -1 on this investigation check. I just forgot I had Cigarette Case in play, so let's draw our card. And I think I just play out these easy marks now. I'll put Well Connected into play, so that I have a little bit more of informed decisions and better chance of hitting the 3rd easy mark next turn. Now, over here with Tony, I thought things were good, and that fighting this man was a good thing. This is not winning. I'm attacking at 5-4 with Knuckle Dusters, and that's a terrible spot to live. Let's make that 7-4, test +3, and see if we can get somewhere that's like a decent place to live. Alright, so that's 2 damage, and we get to draw a card. Hopefully it will help us deal with this. Not really. He's not Retaliate baseline. I'll commit the 2nd Heavy Furs and do a normal punch. That's at +2 for the last damage. Get him out of here. Knuckle Dusters wouldn't have betrayed me anyway. I'm going to play Well Connected. And then I'm going to Faustian Bargain at least 3 of it onto me, so that I can start having a Well Connected for the plus punch on Knuckle Dusters. And I still have a lot of cards I want to play out. This Lucky Cigarette Case and these Heavy Furs, so I'm going to put the whole thing on me. I just need the money. And I'll spend last action... I've got to get over there and kill this guy. He's going to be Ancient Evils in 2 turns. And this turn's already over. So I want to play this stuff, but I think I just gotta go. I'm gonna head down. At Fish Street Bridge, limit once per game, 2 actions, gain 4 resources. That's a lot less enticing than this one was. Anyway, that's it for our turns. Upkeep phase. I get Obsessive on Trish. I really dislike Obsessive. Most of these cards that have effects like this do it when your turn ends. Obsessive does it when your turn starts, and it's the one that affects what you're planning to do. It's just a lot less fun to interact with than the ones that are like Chronophobia and Internal Injury. Anyway, random aside. Lucky Cigarette Case the 2nd is not really relevant. 4 of 6 Doom, evil cards. So we don't have to parlay just yet. I'm going to be testing book 3. If I pass, I'm going to turn off parlays instead, because I can just go down here and get resources, or clues rather. And that'll be a perfectly good use of my turn. But I'm testing at +2, it's not guaranteed at all. We cannot parlay this round, I'm going to leave it in play to remind me of that. And over here for Tony, we got False Lead. I don't have any clues, because it turns out that Reckless turn was a lie. And speaking of, I didn't use Reckless again, lose 2 resources. That shit's brutal. So I'm going to discard this and find something else. Hopefully a weak enemy that I can actually kill. Hey, good, perfect. Unfortunately, it's not like the easiest thing in the world for me to deal with. It does have 4 Fist right now, which, again, I'm punching at +1 here. I'm going to give this thing a bounty, because I'm going to be punching this at 5-4 3 times. Like, that's not very reliable at all. Because I want to get Reckless on my hand and stop hemorrhaging money. This is a really good example of why I hate small cascading errors. If I hadn't caught Innsmouth look, this game looks completely different. Not getting rid of that Reckless vastly changes the next couple of turns. Anyway, let's go to our turns. This guy, unfortunately, is at a location with no clues. But that really doesn't matter. Because Trish can just move to this location, we have somebody there. I'm going to take Trish's turn first. Double move, this man is aloof and only cares about Tony anyway. So, let's see what's at the Innsmouth Harbor. 3 Shroud, 4 clues. After you successfully investigate by 3 or more, look at the top card of the leads deck, limit once per game. That's really good. Investigating by getting a final score of 6 is a little bit beyond me right now, but I can probably investigate and do something. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I'm going to use Burning the Midnight Oil to investigate at +3, using Well Connected. And if I miss, which is decently likely, I'll just play Working a Hunch, and that'll get 2 clues. Curse into 0. That's a pass, hot damn. I was already ready to start playing Working a Hunch, but we don't have to. And we get 2 clues because of Trish's ability. Curse into 0 is passed by 0, though, so we do not trigger Cigarette Case. Tony's going to move up and engage the Initiative Dagon. And then we're going to start punching and commit Reckless until this thing dies. So we need -1, and we can't commit anything else. Lonnie, where are you? I don't have any clues to lose. Get out of here. Don't pass at -3. 0. Well, claim my bounty, get rid of Reckless, and get this man out of here. That was a shitty turn. Admittedly, I'm the fighter. It's not like I had anything else to do, but I'm not happy about it. And last action, I'm just going to move down and get ready to take on my prey. Enemies don't do anything, so Upkeep Phase. Overpower is a fantastic draw. Shortcut's also a good draw. 5 of 6 Doom. Last turn we have to kill the quarry. Obscuring Fog is really annoying, but because I still have Working a Hunch, we can use it. But now this thing's up to Shroud 5, and there's really no chance of us ever triggering the Succeed by 3 ability. Over here for Tony, we're pulling the Fog over Innsmouth, which I am definitely failing. So there's no chance of Trish investigating anything this turn, and I'm also taking 1 horror. I guess I should have used my Well Connected to... I appear to have accidentally discarded my Innsmouth look. Where'd it go? Where did my Innsmouth look go? I've done something... Oh, I know what I must have done. Almost certainly I grabbed the tokens from the man I killed and grabbed the Innsmouth look by accident as well. That makes sense to me. I probably should have used Well Connected. That way, if I got a -1, or a +1 rather, I'd have passed. But it was very unlikely to matter. Furtive Local cycles off. Everything is +1 Shroud this round. I take 1 horror. And let me go find and copy the other Innsmouth look so that I can fix this. And shuffle the deck now that I've got the new one. Okay, Trish needs to go first because Tony's killing his quarry this turn. I say he's doing it, like, matter-of-factly and confident, but, I think I have to play my gun to do that. That's not even more accurate, though, because that costs me the resources I could use on a Well-Connected check. And if I try to do something like Easy Mark, then I'm costing myself actions I could be using to kill the damn thing. Regardless, though, Trish goes first. Trish gives up on this location, spends 2 resources, and plays Working a Hunch. There's an enemy here, so we trigger her ability. We take 2 clues. And I don't want to get too far from Tony. I'm going to walk down 1 location to Fish Street Bridge. And I could get the clues here. I could also parlay at this point. And I can also just gain 4 resources, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I'm going to take 1 parlay action. We need to get started on that. And I don't want to leave this side of the map before I've checked for locations over here. So, let's see it. Come on, locations, not suspects. All right, we have a location, 2 locations. We need to cross out the Order of Dagon, Sawbone Alley, and Othera Gilman, because it was none of them. Order of Dagon, Sawbone Alley, and Gilman, all gone. We're not picking Othera. We would much rather have a victory location than a non-victory enemy. There are more clues at Sawbone Alley. And if I pick Esoteric Order of Dagon, it makes it objectively harder for me to win. Like, this is just a downside. So I'm going to put in Sawbone Alley. And I'll also be putting in the top card of the Encounter deck because, man, this is just a very mean scenario. That rule did not need to exist. Anyway, this connects to somewhere in the middle, Apostrophe and Diamond. It is the bottom left, full opposite side of the map. You know, it occurs to me that I really shouldn't have moved down at all. Because I'm parlaying and trying to find locations. There's a good chance this is just like a wasted action to move down ahead of time. Oh well. The real wasted action is looking at the leads deck when I spend those 3 clues and finding nothing new. Well, hitting Furtive Local sucks, but not hitting any duplicates is nice. So we miss Innsmouth Jail, and we miss Robert Friendly. And Innsmouth Jail goes into play. It is connected to 3 things, so it's in the middle, next to Diamond and Hourglass, so bottom. And the Innsmouth jail has the effect, when you defeat anyone here, instead of discarding them, shuffle into the leads deck. Gross. Very gross. And because we got a little bit lucky there, we don't have any negative effects with moving ahead of time. There's a very good chance that we were supposed to go here, or up to go here, but we got lucky, no punish. Now for Tony's part of the deal, time to kill a 4-fist enemy with only 5 fists on anything that I've got. I'm going to engage and swing my knuckle dusters. And I'll be swinging my knuckle dusters with overpower at +3. That's only the first 2 actions. 0. Draw a card, deal 2 damage. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing else I can really do that's helpful. I'm glad I hit the first Knuckle Duster swing, so now I can swing with just well connected. I don't need to use the Knuckle Duster, so you won't have retaliate. But I am just swinging at 6-4, and it's going to drop to 5-4 if I miss. Easy game. There's a real chance that even though I think having the yellow action compression from Shortcut and all the draw from Sketches and Deep Knowledge, like all of that's really, really good, that you should just be blue for Daring and Vicious Blow. Like those are some really good cards that I'm sorely missing for going yellow. I don't know if I gained my bounty money. I did not. I was at 7 when I used Well Connected. I am going to go down with my second last action. As my final action, I will play a Lucky Cigarette Case. That's it for us. All the enemies are dead. Upkeep phase. I fucking forgot Trish had this. I forgot it at the start of her turn and like while I was taking her actions. First, let's see what cards she should have lost, because I didn't play any cards during her turn. Lost the easy mark. None of the cards in our hand are particularly important, so just to avoid dealing with cascading errors, we're going to pretend that that's what I wanted to do. It's not at all. There's a 1 in 6 chance I discard Milan now, which is really, really bad. And as I'm discarding cards randomly, I would have liked to keep my Deep Knowledge. This is wrong. I shouldn't have done this, but it's happening now. So, top of the round, there's no Doom in play anymore, which is good because we're at 5 of 6 Doom, and that would have progressed the round if we hadn't killed him. Hunting Shadow, I can spend a clue or take 2 damage. I'll put a damage on Jeremiah, take 1 myself. Over here for Tony, ooh, Crypt Shell is bad. I also forgot to take his upkeep phase. I'm going to be losing an asset, right? Like, just guaranteed. The question is, which asset do I want to lose? I guess I should take this now, but like even if I hit star, I fail, so it doesn't matter. The question is just, what am I losing? I've got second Well Connected and Cigarette Case. It probably doesn't matter which one I discard, but if it does, it's going to matter more for Lucky Cigarette Case. Okay, so no enemies again. This will have gone to the discard pile now. Does this go away if there's no clues or only if you break it? Only if you break it. Okay, at the start of the investigation phase, I think I'm going to play this black market that Tony drew on Tony's deck. There are only 15 cards left, and I would really, really like to hit a Lonnie Ritter. That seems like the good thing to do to me. So we're going to see another Mulzer. There's Lonnie, perfect. Another Mulzer, Intel Report, Shortcut. Well, I was hoping to get more playable cards. I guess I can just play out a Mulzer. That's not actually a bad thing. So I think for my action on Tony, I'm just going to take Lonnie and a Mulzer. And since I have 2 actions left and I've used all of my money for Well Connected, I'm going to gain 4 resources. That seems completely reasonable to me. Gonna do all of that. Oh, I don't even have 8 resources, so I'm going to go down to 2. And as my first action, I gain the resources, and then I play those 2 cards. As Trish, I should use this shortcut in this Intel Report, though. There is no reason not to if I can afford it. Looking at the Shroud values on these locations, there is 4 Shroud here, and we don't want to spend any time there. So I'd like to shortcut in an Intel Report for 4 if I can. Well, first, let's see which card's getting discarded, because that affects our planning. My own shortcut. Gross. And all this talk reminds me, I should really get rid of this Obsessive before it just slowly kills every card in my deck. I might shortcut in and play Intel Report for 4. With the intention of just walking back next turn and getting the money and clues. That sounds so bad. I'm just not sure like what I do if I play Milan this turn, or play Intel Report and stop myself from playing Milan, rather. Does Tony's draw order matter anymore? I don't think it does. He's fully set up. So it's fine to shuffle the shortcut back in. That doesn't really matter. I'm just going to play Milan and be very sad that that's what I'm doing with my turn. Upkeep phase, there are no enemies. Deduction is nice. The other long cult's very good for late game stuff, but it won't be relevant for quite a while. That'll shuffle back in right before I start my investigation phase, which I won't be drawing cards before. Top of the round, 6 Doom, agenda advances. The town of Innsmouth grows more and more hostile with each day that passes. The townsfolk here have called on to your presence and perhaps even the reason for your visit. We shuffle the set-aside Winged One and a Night Gaunt into the discard pile, or the deck rather. But we bring the discard pile with it. And we have to draw through all this because that Winged One's worth victory, so we have to sit around for the maximum possible time drawing from this deck to try to get that victory. I was starting to draw my evil cards, but I just remembered there's more text here. We have recovered the memory, a decision to stick together. So, after several days of investigation, you meet up with Agent Dawson to check in with him. He shows you a figurine of emerald stone depicting some sort of aquatic monstrosity, a piece of heart-shaped amber embedded in its center. After the days you have spent investigating and researching this wild place, the creature is oddly familiar to you. I'm glad I roped you in on the case, Dawson says. It's looking less and less like mob work with each passing hour. Let's stick together from here on out. Choose an investigator to take control of the set-aside Thomas Dawson story asset, and for the scenario, he does not take up an ally slot. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he gives +1 fist and he's going to Tony. Also, if I get attacked, I get to draw a card, which is really nice. So, next agenda, Agenda 2, Growing Suspicion. It's another quote, won't be reading that. Same force text, and if the round runs out without me making an accusation, which is something I can do at the end of the round, I just declare who I think it is, flip them over, and see what I got. I lose. So when we get to Agenda 6, or Doom 6, I better make an accusation. Right now, our odds are pretty miserable, right? 50% on both. 66% here to miss, and 50% to miss here. Miserable odds. We need way more information. Anyway, evil cards. False lead. This time it will actually trigger. I'm testing book 4. I'm up 2. I don't have anything I want to commit to it. Let's just not auto-fail. Seems like a good strat. -2, not even a penalty. Hunting Shadow, I guess I'll take 2 damage. I'll put 1 on Lonnie and the other one on myself. Actually, I'll put the other one on Dawson. What are you here for if not to tank for me? I'm going to go first on Trish. I'm going to investigate at 6-2. I'm suddenly and violently aware of how soft Trish is against the Innsmouth look right now. If she had drawn this, it would have been very, very bad, and there's a 50% chance she draws each copy of it. Anyway, let's investigate 6-2 twice. Do I want to gain the resources? Do I need to just like take a turn and get well connected online? I don't feel like that's the worst decision in the world. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get well connected online and then use well connected on the investigation check. Not that it'll matter, but it just seems like I need the money for well connected to start doing things. Tony's turn is miserable though, because he's already done that. He's just poor as hell because of Reckless. I need to play Heavy Furs at some point, so I'm doing it now. The fact that we just haven't been spawning any enemies really makes it hard to utilize Tony. Gonna play an easy mark to gain 2 resources and draw a card. I know that my other 2 easy marks are in the graveyard, so it never gets better. More duplicates isn't what I'm looking for. I think I'm just gonna gain a couple of resources and hang out. Investigating at 2-2 doesn't sound like a winning strategy. And well connected's not online yet, so there's no point in playing it. Miserable turn from Tony. Absolutely nothing. Should I be drawing instead of doing this? What would I even be drawing towards though? Like deep knowledge preposterous sketches? Yeah, I think the way that this deck works, there's no reason to draw. Because the whole concept of this deck is if you just set up, you're strong enough to do everything you'll ever need to do. So I'm just going to gain the 2 resources. I think I just draw towards cards that help me set up faster. And the problem is that I don't have enough economy in the deck for well connected to do anything yet. And without Gios or the Black Fan, I can't investigate. So I'm just a pure fighter right now that's hanging out. And there's no way to make that feel good. No enemies in play. Upkeep phase, Black Market. I can play that onto Trish. I can play them both onto Trish. And that will probably get her doing some crazy things. Top of the round, 1 of 7 Doom. No enemies in play, just double checking. Troublemaker will spawn Cross Map. And Crypt Chill again. Good to see you, old friends. Well, the Lucky Cigarette case is a pretty low priority item, so it's good that we don't need it. -2. Get out. Okay, start of the investigation phase. First things first, Tony's going to black market Trish's deck. Let's see what it pulls. Shortcut, Pocket Telescope, Well-Connected, Shadow Agents, Burning the Midnight Oil. So Burning and Shortcut are both very usable. I'm going to use the Shortcut, or the Black Market rather, on Trish as well. I want to see more. Deduction, Magnifying Glass, Intel Report, Faustian Bargain, Milan. That one was much better than the first one, I think. I'm definitely taking Trish's turn first. So let's just get started. Actually, I'm not, am I? I think I'm taking Tony's turn first and playing that Faustian Bargain for her. Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward one. I'm going to take Tony's turn. I'm going to play Faustian Bargain. I don't have a Will Connected that's usable on Tony, and I might just accept that I'm never getting one. I think that's the play. I think I just accept that Tony's Well Connected doesn't work, and I give all the resources to Trish. Then I use 4 of Tony's resources. No, I move first, and then I use 4 of Tony's resources to play this Intel Report for 2 resources, or for 2 clues rather, to get everything off of the jail. And then I'm just going to move up once with my last action. On Trish's turn, I'm going to play this Magnifying Glass immediately for 1. I'm going to investigate 7-2. I should have used Burning the Midnight Oil over that. Imagine I did. No reason I would ever not. Skull does not stop me. Not a surprise. And I'll gain the clue and the resource from Milan. I'm going to use the shortcut on Trish to boot her up to the Innsmouth Square. I'm going to use 2 resources for this lightning bolt to move to connecting Innsmouth location, the First National and Grocery. The First National is a 3-shroud, 2-clue location. To get action, search the top 6 for an item and draw it. I will not be using this backpack. I'm going to investigate here as well. I'm going to commit the deduction from the board to investigate at 8-3. 0, I'll take both clues. This has been a hell of a turn for Trish. Turns out if you have 6 cards played from your deck, all strictly for your benefit, things start happening. Oh, at some point during this turn, I have to imagine I've drawn Lucky Cigarette case cards. Just haven't been doing it. Cool, I'll play the Magnifying Glass too. And I don't see myself playing a well-connected Pocket Telescope Milan, and especially not my weakness. So I don't have anything else I can do. I've gotten all the clues on the map, except for the bottom left, which an enemy's at, above him, which he'll come and hit me at, to the right, which he'll come and hit me at. So I need to stay here and do something else. I don't need to set up anything. Oh, these cards all suck, though. I'm going to play Deep Knowledge. That draws 3 cards, and that shuffles my deck, which now puts all of these cards into a much larger deck, and I don't have to draw them ever. That's definitely the correct play. And I'll put 2 curses in the back. Okay. So, we're not showcasing green big money stuff yet. The well-connecteds are minor but helpful, really not important. We are definitely showcasing how ridiculous Black Market is. I probably should have not bothered taking well-connected and instead just planned to get adaptable and move them in later. Or just even outright not take them at all until I get well-connected 3. The well-connecteds are definitely not doing well, but Black Market is just disgusting. Hunter phase, the Innsmouth Troublemaker is going to move and look for us. I'll have him move right. Both paths are valid. And then upkeep phase. Not over the hand size on either character. Is that double Deep Knowledge? No, Burning the Midnight Oil and Deep Knowledge. Still 2 very good cards. 2 of 7 Doom and Evil cards. False Lead. I don't want to commit anything to this. I probably should, though. I'll commit the Easy Mark to it. I'm never playing that Easy Mark. I have enough money. And I'll test at +3. I'm okay at +3. Skull is -2. Get it out of here. Haunting Shadow. Either spend a clue or take 2 damage. I'll take the 2 damage. That'll put 1 of it on the furs. You're not supposed to delete that card when you're done with it. What am I doing? And I think that this turn... Did I not put a bounty on this Troublemaker? I definitely meant to. I was just thinking about how far away he spawned. He's a huge threatening enemy. Of course I put a bounty on him. I wouldn't mind having Tony do the parlay actions, but I need to go deal with this enemy. So I'm going to move down, reveal Gilman House. 2 Shroud, 2 Clues. As an action, you can heal 2 damage or 2 Horror. Any combination thereof, limit once per game. And we get this Innsmouth Troublemaker. I do have a lot more fists than I did the last time I fought one of these guys, though. Instead of swinging at 5-4, we're at 7-4. And yeah, I'm just completely comfortable with that. Let's do it. Oh, Well, damn. This is what you get for playing Faustian Bargain for somebody else. Anyway, I'll take my 1 horror and multiple damage. Let's not repeat that. That was pretty miserable. I'm going to use the fast action on Lonnie to heal her horror and this damage for a resource. And I'm going to swing again at +3. Cultist is fine. He's at 1 health. Swinging again, bare-fisted, 7-4. Cultist is fine. Get him out of here. Claim my bounty. I'm going to stop thinking about Tony. I'm going to end his turn. We need to do something. Throw down a lucky cigarette case. Seems as good as anything else. Trish is going to go next. She's going to move. She can move anywhere she wants. She doesn't have to go to Tony. But if I want Tony to be able to use parlay actions and spend her clues, they need to be together. So I come down to Gilman House. I might use this action. I might use it on both characters, actually. It's really efficient. 1 action to heal 2. I actually haven't taken enough damage to justify it on Trish. Holy shit, he's just fine over here. Okay. I didn't realize that. I will burn the Midnight Oil, gain 2 resources, investigate at 8-2, I believe. Yes. -1, take a clue, gain a resource. And I'll just get the last clue here. No reason not to. I was thinking about maybe parlaying, but Tony can't get this clue, so I should be doing it. No enemies are alive. Upkeep phase. The easy marks to combo together is nice. Deep knowledge is not really relevant for Tony, but I could deep knowledge Trish several times. That would give her the ability to do something, but first I need to draw my evil cards and spend those clues parlaying to see what's going on. 3 of 7 Doom. Over here for Trish, we've got Fog over Innsmouth. I tap Well Connected for +3 to test this at 5-3. I'd rather take the horror and not mess with the shroud values. I guess I can just take -4 and drop a clue, though. That's fine. So I will take the horror, and I will also increase the shroud of all locations. I'll just leave this in front of Trish because he's the only one investigating anyway, by 1 for a round. Anyway, Tony. He gets the Initiate of Dagon. We're going to be going over here to Sawbone Alley relatively soon. I don't want him to have +2 fight. I'm going to put him here in Little's bookshop instead. I don't think I need it, but I might put a bounty contract on that Initiate. I don't need it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to go first on Tony. I am going to take this action. We don't have to deal with this guy immediately, actually, now that I think about it. So I'm going to take this action. I'm going to heal 2 horror. Cannot use that location again. Next, I'm going to parlay. I'm going to spend 3 of Trish's clues. And after I do this, I'm almost certainly just parlaying again immediately. But we're definitely doing it once. So, shuffle the deck. And let's see what the future holds. I know that's useless. I know that's useless. Have we seen Brian Burnham? We haven't seen Brian Burnham. We have to draw something from the list. So we may as well grab the Esoteric Order of Dagon because it's worth victory. The Esoteric Order is top left. It's actually a good location for us. It's in line with the stuff we're already doing. Anyway, let's put in a new Mythos card. Shuffle the deck and do it again, right? Yeah, we're doing it again. Hopefully it's a little bit better this time. I need to check off more than 1 name. Locked door. Hey, at least House is new. And Barnabas, I think, is also new. Yes, good. So we're down to 50-50 on both fronts. That means we have a 75% chance of getting to play the last act. Anyway, this is like not actually a decision point. We always pick the one worth victory. And we add a new Mythos card in. I'm going to be so upset. I just realized you can shuffle the Winged One into this deck. I'm going to quickly check if the Winged One is still in the encounter set. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. That's literally victory I just can't obtain because of random chance. That's the sort of things we started making house rules about in Dunwich because they kept having your random locations with victories only on some of them. Oh well, I guess. This is the top right. We probably won't be getting to this one unless we get to the 3rd act. So I have 1 action left on Tony. And I think I use that to deep knowledge Trish. Really the only thing Trish can hit that even matters is deduction, though, I think. Everything else that gives you clues is already in her hand. She's already got 1 deduction in both intel reports, so we're not cycling her deck a second time. This guy only hits for 1 horror. I might just walk up to him now and let him hit me. And put the horror on Lonnie and then use her abilities since she's taken the horror to heal the damage off Heavy first, which hasn't taken damage, so that doesn't actually work. Bleh. Well, now I wish I'd placed a bounty on that guy. I'm going to move up and just take the hit. It's not like what I want to do, but it's fine. Over here on Trish's turn, we need to investigate at 1,000,000 to 2 to get this clue. Milan will give us the money. And from there, I think that we're going to go to Sawbone Alley and just start getting loads of clues from here. That's a move action. And this is 2 Shroud. So I think this is the one I'll use Deduction on, and I'll be burning intel reports on the later ones because they all have more Shroud. That's not true, actually. And also, I know that this one, let's flip the location, I actually have someone there. Little's Bookshop is a 2 Shroud, 4 clue location. If I fail a skill test here, I shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into the leads deck. So I think I actually want to save all of this. And realizing that I don't want to use these cards here, a part of me wishes I had just gone up initially, but that would be inefficient. I will investigate with Deduction here. I can avoid taking the test entirely by playing double intel report at the Little Bookshop. Anyway, I think 2 of Trish's failures have been auto fails on Deduction checks. That's rough. Anyway, that's our turn. We get hit for 1 horror over the Mythos phase, or the enemy phase, rather. Upkeep phase. Shortcut is nice. Black market is nice. It means Trish might be able to dodge her weakness again. Top of the round, 4 of 7 Doom. We're running out of time. And evil cards. That can spawn at any location I want it to, and I'm going to give it... Well, not any of the 4 locations. And I'm going to give it to the one that is where Tony currently is so that we can be in control of the situation. Tony's going to draw a card. He's getting real fishy. He's missing another sanity. Oh, I healed sanity he didn't have because the Innsmouth book was reducing his max. That should have been a heal to his health then because there was no alternative. Also, I'm glad he has both of them and not Trish. Kind of lucky on that. And this guy gains a Doom at the end of the round, I believe. Yes. Which doesn't affect anything. We would not have had Ancient Evils from that. I just forgot to do it. Fucking forgot to put them in when I shuffled my deck. Ah! How long have I just been not looking at you? Well, I'm glad I haven't been aggressively drawing from the deck and playing Deep Knowledges and stuff on her. I'd feel a lot worse if I had. Fog over Innsmouth is gone now. I don't think I counted it last turn, but I'm pretty sure I stomped a skill test here and then auto-failed this one. And I forgot to use my lucky cigarette case, which is for the best since my deck was lying. Okay, let's go on Tony. First attack, Knuckle Dusting 7-2 against this Initiate. He's out of here. Next up, we have the Troublemaker. I'm going to shoot him with my gun, 7-2, using my ability. Did I grab this token off of something other than my bounty contracts? I'm very confident that I did. I don't know why I did that, but I'm pretty sure I had 3 on this for the longest time. Anyway, it's taken 2 damage. At -1, I can either ready my gun or gain a resource. I am going to gain a resource, actually, and I'm going to finish him off bare-handed by punching him. That is -2, I believe. We're on Agenda 2. We are on Agenda 2. Get out of here. I will claim my bounty. I don't understand what the alternative to readying the Mauser means. Like, thematically, I mean. I understand that you use the Mauser, it exhausts and spends an ammo. And if you succeed by 2 or more, which is that rogue succeed archetype, you either ready it so you can use it again or gain a resource. Like, I get the card mechanically. But flavor-wise, what does this represent? Like, I genuinely don't understand what the card means if I try to apply it to reality. It's like looking at a D&D character's inventory. Also, Tony wasn't supposed to be done yet. I still have 2 actions left and don't know what to do with them. I really need to prioritize Gias on this guy. Having some workable book would be really helpful. Which I guess means my economy cards are also high priority, so I can start running a Black Fan too. I'm going to move down to Trish's location and parlay with her 3 clues, so I don't know what else to do. Alright, there's a 40% chance on each card we pull that we get a guaranteed answer. Come on. Zadok is one of them, hell yeah. Barnabas is already a known quantity, and Priest of Dagon doesn't matter at all. We've seen this guy like 3 times. We never pulled one though. There might be 2 Priest of Dagon in this deck. We know it was Joyce Little now though, so that's really good. Of these 2, I'd rather not deal with either of them. And honestly, I have no intention of dealing with either of them. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to stop thinking about it. I like Zadok Allen more because he's from the book and funny. So we're going to be putting him on the Fish Street Bridge, wherever that is. Here we go. And he has clues on him, but like, we're not getting them. We're never going to go meet him. He's just a drunk dude in the corner of the city, minding his own business. Nothing to do with the crime. No reason for us to interrogate him. That brings us to Trish's turn. Hopefully this time we can manage to crack this fucking impossible two-shroud location. I meant to play Black Market, but I got so upset when I saw the previous Black Market that I forgot to. I'll do it next turn. Am I really just investigating straight 3 times? That sucks. I don't like that at all. Wait, no, I'm not, because I don't need these clues. I have a guaranteed answer. I'm not going to be, like, trying super hard to reveal one of these victory locations. So instead, I'm just going to use both intel reports now for 8. And take all 4 of these clues off of this victory location. We haven't fallen anyone here, so Sawbone Alley's text is something that I've avoided needing to worry about. And then I'm going to start moving up to the next location. Theoretically, you could get more victory about a 2 out of 10, so 320%. Well, it's not 320%, the odds get better with each one you pull. Doing that twice has a pretty good shot, I think, of getting me a victory point location, but I have to actually get there is the problem. We'll see. It's not like there's anything else for Tony to do. Anyway, that doom is gone. Top of the round, not quite yet. Upkeep phase. Eldritch Sophist. And intel report on Tony's really, really good. I forgot that was in the deck, but that's actually a really valuable thing you can be doing right now. So, top of the round, 5 of, I believe it's 7 doom. Yes, we have 2 more turns. Hunting Shadow. I'll be spending my clue because I don't have any interest in taking damage and dying, or in really doing the parlay thing. Oh no. The mist has obscured this area with no clues that we're done with. I'm going to go first on Tony. I move up to the location that Trish is at. Based on the shroud values here, I'm going to choose to be sending Tony to the top left. So I'm going to shortcut Trish. Before I do that, I'm going to reveal 3 clues. So let's go ahead and do that. This probably doesn't do anything, but I may as well try. Hunting Nightgaunt, Locked Door, and Brian. Literally nothing. Good game. Was worth a shot, though. Anyway, like I was saying, I'm going to shortcut Trish now that I've spent her clues, and she's going to start heading to the right to get this victory. Tony's going to move up with his next action. He's going to spend almost all of his money playing this intel report for 4 to get all the clues on this location. And when I do that, I'll be adding, or removing rather, the top card of this without looking at it. What a great mechanic. On Trish's turn, I'm going to move once. I'm going to pay the bus fare of 2 resources to move again as a fast action. Going to move again to this location. There's nothing else for me to do. And I want to have these easy marks played. Have more options in my hand. Ooh, no I don't. Shadow Agents in the deck. Don't want to draw as my last action cross map from Tony. That sounds like suicide. I'll be investigating like a good little boy. 8-1. And Milan will even pay me for doing my due diligence, and that will get my well-connected online just the same. Upkeep phase. Second Milan, second Knuckle Duster. We're kind of past the point of caring. Last turn before we have to make our accusation. Wings of Darkness on Trish. That's really annoying. Glad well-connected is online, so I can be up to. Can I commit anything to it? I think I'm past playing the easy marks. I'm not going to get well-connected much better than +2s. And I have enough money to do that, and I don't have any intel reports to play, so, you know, go up +4 to beat the squid. Star. Play deduction at +3. Auto fail. This doesn't do justice to, like, how the situations happen. But tracking that would be borderline impossible. Anyway, this is not an investigation, so it does nothing, but I don't get any ill effects. Is that true? Do I still take the damage? No, I don't have any ill effects whatsoever. There's an initiative Dagon. I'll just throw him between me and Trish, and he'll have a bad time because I'll place a bounty on the poor guy. I'm going to go first on Trish. I'm just trying to dodge autofail 3 times in a row. It's really not that hard. I don't need to play Black Market. I think I want to save that until the next phase of the game. That way I can, I don't know, hit cards to commit anything. Can you commit cards in Black Market, actually? No, you can't. So skills in Black Market actually do nothing. Shit, that means I cheated with that deduction earlier. Well, what can you do? Lesson learned. Shit. Anyway, we're trying to avoid auto-failing 3 times in a row with Trish. That doesn't matter, but I guess it counts. How's this phrased? Yeah, it's not like Luke. I'm not at both locations, so I can't make use of the Dagon initiate, unfortunately. But I do get a money and a clue. Next check. -4 is a pass. 0 is a pass. That is all the victory on house on Water Street as well. It is technically possible for me to search one more time. I don't know that I have any reason to. And in fact, I'm not going to even bother trying to get over there to help Trish. I'm just going to engage the initiate. Or walk over to him, rather, which causes him to engage. He's at 4, I'm at 7. I punch, there's no reason to knuckle dust. Which actually means I'm only at 7. Anyway, that -2 kills him. And for the rest of my rounds, I could get to Trish, but I couldn't actually do anything with it, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm going to move down to the middle location. We're going to have a boss spawning here very soon. Is there anything I can do to meaningfully set up for that boss? I don't have the money to play double Tonys anyway, and I'd rather hold them for the question marks, probably. Oh, I'd draw a card with Cigarette Case for sure. Crush that skill check. There's really nothing I need to do. It's very strange. I gain a resource. Like, I don't have anything that matters. It's very awkward. Anyway, that's the end of our turn. Upkeep phase. Enemy phase, there was nothing to do. I need to toss something over here. Gonna be this Malzer. No one takes foot test on this team. Or at the very least, Tony sure as hell doesn't. That's the end of the round, you make the advancement, right? Yeah. So I need to guess, and I'm pretty confident it's Joyce Little, and I believe he did it at New Church Green. It was the Shoreward Slumps, but it was Joyce Little. So let's go see what happens if we get it 50% correct. The time has come for you to reveal your hand. You retraced Agent Harper's steps as best you can and learned a lot about Innsmouth and its citizenry. Perhaps with this information, you can narrow down where Harper is now. If you are swift and decisive, the kidnapper will surely discover you are on to him. You have only one chance to get this right. One chance to locate Harper and surprise her kidnapper. If you're wrong, it's back to square one, or worse. So we go to Scenario Interlude, the accusation. Now you're supposed to circle the correct ones. What I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck everyone but the correct ones. Now, if neither card matches, we're on the wrong track and we immediately resign. But if one of them matches, then we're partially correct and may proceed, but we've angered the citizens of Innsmouth with our careless investigation. So now we flip over the Agent Harper card, which is here, and it's surprise, surprise, it turned out it was the Angry Mob. It's a 3-fist, 4 health, 3-foot enemy, Hunter Massive Retaliate with +8 health for a total of 12. It's got Victory 0, and it only hits for 1/1. Really, it's just everyone who goes to New Church Green being furious that we accuse them of a crime. We'll be fine. 12 health really isn't that much for Tony. Also, it turns out, by the way, that the entire town of Innsmouth is wanted. Yeah, I don't know, something about fish crime, I just take the bounties, man. So my understanding is that when you advance any agenda, you always remove all doom. And I don't see how this scenario is ever supposed to work, even in this weird situation where you swap out the agendas, because it says to advance them, but it also doesn't make any mention of doom, and I wish it was more clear. I will, however, be assuming that as it's a new agenda, and the scenario can be very, very tight on many teams, that you're supposed to remove the doom like you normally do. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. I'll dislike the scenario even more after I figure out that I'm playing it incorrectly and the rules are even harsher. This hideout location is going to go into play. It is somewhere on the left side of the map, I think. No, it's the bottom right. Maybe we should have interviewed Zadok Allen. Maybe he saw what happened. It was right down the street from him. And it's going to need an additional 2 clues because it was the correct location. This is where Elina is, but that doesn't really mean anything because you can't get her during this scenario. It's kind of weird we're told to put her there. The Leeds deck has been removed from the game. Thank God for that. Unfortunately, that means that the winged one, wherever he is, doesn't exist. Like, I'm going to let this stand, but I just want to be very clear at how much I hate game design where the amount of reward you receive is random. Because, like, yes, the challenge is also random to a degree, but this team could easily have handled the winged one. And like, I don't think anyone would object if I just put it in the encounter deck, but I'm not going to. Anyway, now we read our new agenda, our new act, and we proceed with the game. Frantic Pursuit is yet another quote. If we defeat a suspect enemy other than the kidnapper, we record that they're out for blood. The kidnapper is okay with it because, you know, he's the kidnapper. He feels like he has it coming. 7 Doom again. Act 2A, the rescue. All your evidence has led you here. You must rescue Agent Harper at all costs. The kidnapper loses aloof, gains +2 health, and cannot be parlayed with. If either the kidnappers and the victory display are there no clues on Elina's location, advance, because there are 2 or more investigators, we have to do both. I'll go ahead and copy this and grab this man, pull him down. Joyce Little would normally have had 3 health. Instead, we'll be giving him 5, because he is the big guy. We ignore that revelation text because she was the kidnapper. And we have Parlay, test head 3. If you succeed, takes control of one of the clues on her. There are no clues out of it. We're just going to shoot her. Like, we're not doing this head test nonsense. We're going to shoot her. So that was the end of the round. Top of the phase, Mythos phase, 1 of 7 Doom. And I don't know if I've looked at this recently. I don't think I did while I was being mad about the winged one, but I might have. Test 3 book. We're not parlaying this round anyway. I don't really have anything I want to commit to this, so I'll just take it at +3. No parlaying. Oh no. Over on Tony's side, he has a Hunting Night God. It's getting a little bit messy in here. The Hunting Night God might also be wanted for crime. I don't think it is. Do I need to come over here as Trish? There are no clues to get, which is the awkward thing, so I can't auto-evade any of this. I could shortcut him, but that doesn't get me far enough, and I think my other shortcut's already been used. It hasn't. Okay. So at the start of the investigation phase, I'm going to play Black Market on Trish and try to hit the second shortcut. Lucky Cigarette Case. Working a Hunch. Well Connected. Shadow Agents. Burning the Midnight Oil. So we miss it. Not terribly surprising, but it would have been helpful to hit. I think Trish at this point is fully not able to help Tony, so I'm just going to accept that and move her down twice as her first 2 actions. This man is going to try to engage with her, but I'm going to play Working a Hunch from this pile, which evades him and gets a clue from the location. And then I'll just be investigating as my last action at, oh god, 8 to 5. There's only 1 squid and 1 -4. That's enough to justify throwing Soak at it. +1, take an additional clue. Oh, I guess I should have played this Burning the Midnight Oil. There's no reason I wouldn't have. It's not like the money matters, but still. Speaking of things I should have done, I'm clearly not in it because I should have used that Well Connected instead of throwing Milan away, but whatever. Let's get to the interesting part. We have a lot of people to punch over here. Tony's just gonna punch the entire town of Innsmouth into submission. So, at some point, these Knuckle Dusters are gonna fail me because I'm only at, I'm at +4 because of Agent Dawson. Hell yeah. Let's start punching. I'm gonna move this one up because I only care about the town of Innsmouth for Tony right now. If I hit him 5 times, it doesn't even kill him. So I do need to kill the Hunting Night Gaunt. Let's do that first. I'm going to shoot the Hunting Night Gaunt 7 to 3, 8 to 3 actually. That's 2 damage. Do it again because I'm going to ready it with the bonus action, or the effect rather. Skull is -2, -3 actually. So I don't pass by enough to ready it again, but I do kill the guy. And then I'm going to Knuckle Dust 3 consecutive times against the mob. -4 is a hit. Thank you, Agent Dawson. Correct? 5, 6, 7, -4. This thing only has 3 fists. Yep. It's down 2 health. Swing again. Star. Just everyone in this town is wanted. Now it's down to 8 health. Swing again. -1, down to 6 health. Stupid town of criminals. This is just preposterous. Canonically, what happened is Tony Morgan came to this town, violated their privacy to find the one criminal that was here that actually did something wrong. The town got together like, dude, you accused the church of murder, you ran through everyone's shit, you've been causing a ruckus, you need to leave. And Tony just takes out his brass knuckles and he's like, I hate to tell you this, but it turns out you're all wanted men. And then fucking beat everyone to death. This is ridiculous. Anyway, enemy phase, they attempt to fight back. I will take the horror onto Lonnie, and the physical damage onto Bevy first. In the player phase, before the upkeep window, I will use a resource to heal off the damage they just did. And then I take the upkeep phase. I suspect I won't be playing this Faustian bargain. Seems like it's just not happening. It's definitely less important or more important than deep knowledge, but neither of them matter at all. Pocket Telescope, not exactly relevant. 2 of 7 Doom, and Evil cards. On Wings of Darkness on Trish is annoying, but not actually bad, because this man has readied and engaged with her. There's really nothing I can even commit to this aside from my unique ability. And I don't particularly want to do that. Kind of just want to get away from Joyce Little for a hot second, so I'll take the 1-1. That still counts as an auto-fail, even if I wanted it to happen. So I'm now gone from Joyce Little, and I'm back in Town Square. Over here, Crypt Chill. Hey, we got cigarette cases just for this, apparently. Oh, what a surprise, we failed. Get out of here, cigarette case, for like the 3rd time this game. Probably should have drawn from it last turn, but again, I think we're a bit past needing it. So let us continue with the violence. Tablet's a hit. Auto-fail is not. I take 1-1. I'm going to immediately spend a resource and exhaust Lonnie to cancel it out. They're at 4 health right now from the 1 hit. Next swing. Skull's a hit. Down to 2. -4. That is still a hit, correct? I want to double check that. 3 to 5, 6, 7. Get him out. Tony has beat the entire town into submission. Please leave us alone. And I'm going to start moving down to beat one more person into submission. Trish is going to move down for sure. That part of the turn always happens. Our objective is to both kill the suspect and get the clues. I'm going to shortcut Tony in just to save time. Joyce engages with him. 1 horror won't matter. Trish is going to follow him in. Because there's an enemy here when I investigate. I'm up 3. I commit well connected to be up 5. Curse into -2. That's a pass. And I take both clues with the ability from Trish. That's it for Trish. We go into the enemy phase. Over here, Lonnie takes 1 horror for Tony. And upkeep phase. We have to toss something. It'll be preposterous sketches. I don't think that'll matter. Working a hunch. All the clues on the map are already gone. 3 of 7 Doom. Let's make sure we live through our Mythos cards before we call it a day. Take this test. Taking it at +2. I fail. I take a horror. And the Shroud of all locations is +1. Not that it matters. There's an Initiative Dagon above us. Alright, so we can take Tony's turn now. This thing has 5 health. And to my enormous shock, they actually have 5 health. Or 5 fists, rather. I didn't notice that at first. That's really weird. She's just the librarian. Why does she have 5 fists? Do they all have 5 fists? No. Lots of them have normal fist numbers. In fact, she seems to have the highest fist number. There's nothing about this art or the story I'm being told here that implies she's a sorcerer, so I have no idea why this character has 5 fists. Anyway, I will shoot her with a gun, because I'm a little bit afraid of her. Cultist, that is a pass, but my gun will exhaust. So I guess I'm knuckle dusting at +2. I'll commit a long cult to be at +4. And I will commit another long cut to be at +4 again. I really should have put a bounty on her, but I just wasn't thinking about it. Yeah, she hits me for 1 horror again. And she should be at 1, not 2, not that it matters. I'm going to commit Knuckle Duster and Lonnie Ritter to swing again at +4. Get her out of here. And we weren't really in any danger there. Even if I missed, I've got so much soak and allies that I could just kill one of them, I'll be fine. But she's dead. So, let's go see what the resolution is. So, that's the mob dead. That wasn't actually our goal, but that's also Joyce Little dead and the hideout investigated. Agent Harper gives you a warm smile of relief as you untie her bindings and help her to her feet. I don't know who you are, but thank you. I know that thing's handled, though, just for the record. She chuckles at her own joke. Despite her situation, the agent carries herself with the confidence of one who has been in deadly situations before. You introduce yourself and tell her you were hired to help find her. Well then, I'm very glad you're here. You came in the nick of time. Now, if you don't mind, I have some unfinished business with this associate of mine, she says, her voice sharp with indignation. Care to join me? And we go to her interrogation of whoever kidnapped her, which is Joyce Little. So we're going to see R4. We're going to earn victory equal to the value of all cards. We don't spend it yet. I think it's true this time, I can't remember. We record the mission was successful, and we go to interlude 2, the Sigsy. Real quick, let's do a count for Victory X. There's nothing actually in the victory display, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations. So we gain 5 victory. Any one investigator may choose to add the Elina Harper story asset to their deck, but even though she does give the stats that Trish clearly wants, foot and book, she also takes up an ally slot. And my ally slots are pretty hard locked on Trish. Like, Milan is better than this, Kirby is better than this, Eldritch Sophist, once the combo exists, is better than this. So I really don't want her in my deck, and there's no story implications of her being here, so I won't be taking her at all. Nope, it wasn't real this time. The Sigsy 4, with a fragment of the memories returned to you, past events have become clearer. Each investigator may now spend experience under unspent experience. So we get to spend our 5, I believe, immediately. And that's that. I'll see you next time on the Innsmouth Conspiracy with Scenario 3 and 2 Deep. I've been Rather Incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. And I'll see you in the next one.